Okay, this video is going to be about changing your yarn color or changing your piece of yarn when you are at the end of the current piece of yarn you're working on. Now, my yarn was so short that my needle ended up slipping off of it. Couldn't stay on any longer, but I still got a couple inches left. So it has a little bit left to keep wrapping. I'm gonna just figure out how to wrap that around a couple times more until there's only about an inch and a half left over here. At that point, when there's only about, that much left, I'm going to kind of hold it there and lay it flat here against the cord that I haven't done yet. So once you've done that and you have your new piece of yarn here with your needle threaded, and again, if you need help remembering an easy way to thread your needle, go ahead and look for the threading needle tutorial that we've got. And I'm going to lay that flat there, and I'm going to take the end, the longer end of my new yarn. It can be the same color or it can be a different color. And take that longer end of the yarn and match it up and make it partner with that old yarn and put them both down on the cord. Now if I don't kind of pinch that yellow yarn, it has a way of making itself really loose. So I got to keep remembering that I got to bring that yellow yarn back. All right, and I've got both those partnered up with the cord, and here's where I'm going to use my pinchers again. My left hand is going to pinch, pinch, pinch along there with all three different parts, the two yarns and the coil. And this is my new yarn. It hasn't been attached to the coil at all. My new yarn is what's going to bind everything together. And I'm going to start with my left hand pinch on the coil and the yarns and my right hand pinch on that new yarn, just like when we're wrapping it usually. And I'm going to use this new yarn to cover up all of that that's being pinched down. And so you won't be able to see a single trace of it when we're all done. Okay, here we go. I'm pinching and I'm going to start wrapping from behind. And I'm going to bring this new yarn right up against the old last wrap. And yeah, those are starting to twist a little bit, but that's okay as long as you keep that pinch there. And I keep this pinch nice and tight, and I bring it around and I lay it right next to the last one, flat, and again, right up and over those pieces of yarn that are down there, over and over. Now at this point, I'm starting to get ready to connect, right? It's getting a little long. So I am, even though I don't have it all covered up, I am going to do a connection here. Okay? So this time I'm wrapping around from front to back. You can actually do it the other way too, but for right now, let's keep doing this. And in this place, since I've got it in front of me and it's coming out in between, I'm going to go actually from above down. So I've got it coming up through the middle. I'm going to go down a story in the snail building and poke it through down, drawing it nice and tight, right? We want to make sure that carries water. And since I'm coming out from below here, if I just brought it up, I'd have that bridge there. So I'm actually going to come between the two. Okay, I'm going to bring my needle up in between the two. Okay. Again, I'm pinching over here and I'm pulling nice and tight there so that there's no space in between. And I still want to cover up those ends, so I'm going to just make sure that they're lying flat. And with this piece, I'm going to go up and over, up and over right next to the other parts. This especially, if you go too far apart, you can really see that yellow in between, right? So I just want to make sure I'm covering up all that old color and getting things right next to each other. Okay, wrap, wrap. See how my pinch is? This pinch is just kind of moving back when it needs to, and up and over. And now I'm about ready for a connector. And I'm going to bring it really close to each other because I'm coming up from the middle. I'm going to go down a level and poke my needle through. Pull, 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 pull. Oh, it looks like I needed to actually make that one a little shorter, so I pull my needle so that one end is shorter than the other now. And pull tight, tight, tight. Again, if I were to bring the yarn right up and over, there would be that bridge in the middle there. So instead of that, I'm going to come through to the other side with my needle. And now I'm ready to pinch and wrap, 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 wrap. Pinch, move my pinches as I need to. I'm letting the yarn kind of flow through this pinch, but I'm still keeping it tight. Oh, do you see I almost saw some of the cord between there, so I needed to bring it back a little bit more. Okay, and now I have a connected yarn, and you can't see any of the ends at all. They're all hidden right underneath there. And that's how you work to connect two different yarns. Okay. Next time we'll talk about how to connect cord when you run out of cord.